Hello, this is Bruce Maloch, State Senator for District 12, with an update on the coronavirus and a discussion with Doug White about the Arkansas State Fair. Let's start with the coronavirus. As of June 25th, we've had 18,062 cases of COVID-19 in Arkansas. That is a daily average increase of 590 over the past week, and that's the highest that we've had. Our 7-day rolling average trajectory is increasing. A week ago, it had flattened out for a few days, and so that gives us some concern. And also, the number of active cases as of June 25th stands at 5,695, and that's an increase of 1,350 cases over the past week. That's also at a high. The number of hospitalizations related to COVID-19 is at a high. And so we're looking at our capacity there if the numbers continue to increase. But all of these numbers give us some concern, and they make it difficult for people to plan events moving into the summer and on into the fall. And one of those events that's considering some of those issues is the Arkansas State Fair. I'm pleased to serve on the executive board of the Arkansas State Fair. I have a long history with the fair. As a 4-H and FFA member in my younger days, high school days, I exhibited livestock. Our 3 children all exhibited livestock at the state fair, and now I have grandchildren who are exhibitors at the state fair. So I think it's important. It's important for all of the state. And our state fair board met this week and discussed some of those issues. And after that meeting, I was able to discuss some of the issues with Doug White, the president and general manager of the Arkansas State Fair. Here's that clip. Doug, a lot of times when we plan for the state fair, we're most worried about the weather for those 10 days in October, but we've got a few other things to worry about this year. Talk about how the coronavirus has impacted the fair and some of the decisions that you're going to have to make between now and October.
Yeah, it probably makes your job as our chairman a little bit more difficult too, Senator, but if you look at what's happening from a national perspective, the coronavirus is at the top of mind of the entire entertainment industry, including the fairs. I reported to the board that we have, of the 100 largest fairs in the United States, about half of them have already announced cancellations. It's expected that about another 20 will, and that's complete cancellation. We don't want to be in that boat. We are looking forward to having some formative event, knowing that it's going to be different, and it's probably going to look a little different than in years past. But our mission, as you know, is our youth, and we want to make sure that we can do everything we can to include them and have a safe, fair experience.
And I know number one priority will be the safety of the visitors and the exhibitors and all of those. But so I guess at this point, you could have anything from not having a fair all the way to the full carnival, but there's also some options in between.
There are. I mean, and you and I've talked, we both were of the opinion that by October 16th, when our fair would open this year, that we would be in phase 3. And so all of our planning up to about 2 weeks ago was with that notion in mind. It doesn't look like that's going to happen, as you and I seen the spike look like it's going to occur right during our fair, which means probably we'll be in phase 2. So what does that mean for our patrons? It means the rides will have to be at 66% capacity. We'll have to practice social distancing, probably have to require masks for our patrons. If they don't have one, provide one for them. And then, of course, the disinfectant and sanitization issues are huge, and it's a huge expense as well.
Well, and I know as we talked in our board meeting today, we want to certainly get the governor's perspective. We want to talk further to people at the Arkansas Department of Health and follow all of their guidelines. But again, it is our hope that we will be able to have a fair, that those exhibitors that have spent so much time with their projects will be able to come. So as we make those decisions, how will that be communicated to the participants?
Good point. So we're going to rely on the board in the next few weeks to kind of formulate a plan, knowing that right now the virus is controlling the agenda, not us. But once we have that plan, we will communicate that through our social media, our Facebook pages, as well as our e-newsletters, which I would encourage all of your constituents to sign up for the e-newsletter updates, which we will provide regularly.
Well, and I'll provide a link both to the State Fair, also the State Fair Facebook page. That's a good site to go and see what decisions have been made. But hopefully we'll be able to at least have some activities, as many as possible. We'll be communicating that. We had a great fair last year. Doug's done a great job in working with the State Fair, and it's one of the biggest events in the state for the year.
I think it is. I think if people would argue that's 6 or 7 home Razorback games, but even at that number, we're pretty close to that. So for our 10-day fair, having almost 500,000 patrons on our campus, just think about the economic impact that has not only to Little Rock, but to the state itself. So we're an economic engine, and we don't want that engine to stop.
So now our hope is for 10 days of no rain, 10 days or leading up to that of a decreased COVID-19 cases so that we can have the state fair. We'll keep you posted on that. In the meantime, if I can help you in any way, let me know.